Wish you were here. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? And did you exchange the walk-on part of the war for a lead role in a cage? So that song, Wish You Were Here, from Pink Floyd, an oldie but a goodie. Did you exchange the walk-on part of the war for a lead role in a cage? It was a song we played at my son's memorial. As we went through the pictures, it was one of the songs. It really sums up what we're living in right now, what we're going through right now, this big machine, and that everybody seems to be blind to what's going on. And as I get back to my subject that I always talk about, which is mind control, and you look at this Golden Dome. I shared a link today on Facebook about the Golden Dome. I like her, Maria. I hope I don't say her name wrong, but whatever, I will link it. I'm terrible with names. And she spoke about the Golden Dome, and I've read things about the Golden Dome, and that it will extend all the way from Greenland all the way down in this northern corridor, this technocratic corridor that is being created, and it looks like it's all, but it's pre-planned, right? And the Golden Dome will be how they watch us 24/7, because that's what they're going for. And so everything, it's like they're changing our Earth into a giant machine of sensors hooked into AI that will watch us constantly, and it will control our movements. And it goes even one step, well, not one step, one giant leap. You see, back in the 50s and the 60s, Dr. Ewan Cameron in Montreal at the Allen Memorial, there are lawsuits going on right now that have been, this is what are we, 60 years from there? And now they're still going, right? These lawsuits against what this man did, who's now dead. He was honored when he was alive. But what he was doing was destroying the mechanism of the brain, the receiver. So he would wipe out the memories that people had by sleep deprivation, drugs, LSD, by what did he call it? Oh, electric shock treatment, right? To make it like a blank slate, and then he would reprogram. Well, you see, that's what technology that's 75 years old, older than that, I'm sure. I'm sure it was practiced during Second World War. I'm sure that this has been going on for a millennia, because it's as old, it's the oldest battle ever. Well, now they understand how the structures of our brain work very, very well. The hippocampus on the sides, we have two of them, right? This is where our autobiographic memory, this is the memory center. This is what starts to go with dementia, right? Is this, and look at the amount of dementia we have, right? Then you look at the frontal cortex, the critical thinking part, which is pretty much shut down in people because they live unconsciously. So they live in the unconscious mind, programming. And this is how programming works. I drove a standard car for years. So you get into a certain mindset when you're in a car. But now I drive an automatic, to my chagrin. I'd rather have a standard. I like standard. You don't really have them in Canada or the US anymore, but here, many of them. So the other day, I was not, usually I stay pretty present, right? I'm consciously aware of what I'm doing, but I was kind of mindless. I was caught up in a thought, and something on my shifter put it into like neutral. I must have hit something, and it spun like it was not in gear, and I slammed on the fucking brake with my left foot like a clutch. So the program is still in there when you're not thinking. So it, like, I went ding, 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 ding. That all happened, my foot on the brake, thinking it's the clutch because you use your left foot, right? And stopped suddenly. Thank God nobody was behind me. I stopped rather rapidly. That's programming to a T. The program's in there. So to stay out of programming, right, where things will just happen automatically without your conscious awareness, we have to stay mindful and conscious. So they now have it that they know how to burn out areas of our brain to make us, well, they believe that we're biological computers and we act very much like one, but we're gods. We're God's creation. We are God. It's all around us, right? They want to take that out. The spiritual part of it, they don't get. So it's perfectly okay for them to go in and destroy people's minds, right? They do it with thought forms, right? Electromagnetic frequencies, poisons that we take, fluoride. There's fluoride toothpaste for older people that has even more fluoride in it. Throw it out if you have any of that. And the Teflon pans and the shit in the sky. It's all so that they can have an empty slate, so that they can put in, because they also understand how to put in false memories into your brain. They know how to do that once they've destroyed the hippocampus and you're not engaged in neurogenesis every night, the creation of new cells, right? They've figured out how to shut that off. So then they can actually reprogram you. And that, in my mind, is what is exactly happening. New Brunswick just passed legislation that make it completely legal to kill people when they're alive with MAID, to harvest their organs. One of the biggest fucking black market business and moneymaker that there is. If you think that the people that are running these hospitals and dying with dignity and all this is all caught up in BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, the big boys up there, the Silicon. It's a death cult killing people. I was thinking this morning about my dad used to drown kittens. I used to find kittens all the time, right? We lived on a farm. So the mother cats, of course we didn't fix them back then, right? Would have kittens. And I loved anything living. I still do love living things. I don't like to see things killed. I understand why my dad did it later on. I didn't when I was a little kid. I remember this one time I went out, there had been a whole batch of little kittens with the mother. I went out, there was one left and the rest were. And he tried to explain it to me why he did it. I could never understand it. I could never do it. I understand you didn't want tons and tons and tons of cats, right? That's why they did it. It's like what is happening right now, that the governments, the institutions, the NGOs, these anti-human, whatever this anti-human energy, has turned humanity into a bunch of fucking kittens, and they're drowning you. They're drowning you. Some they drown quickly, some they drown slowly. Right? The deaths are still going on from this thing. Right? It's still happening. Right? Nobody's reacting to it. Nobody's really saying much to it. Then we've got all this Epstein disgusting shit. Nobody's really, we're looking at the pinpoint. I don't see any action on it. I don't see anybody standing up for the people on MAID that you shouldn't be, it's a death ritual. They are taking and harvesting your organs when you're alive, and you're trusting and believing that things are not going on in your consciousness when that's happened, because they've got you paralyzed, and the utter horror of it. Like, I can still see the kittens being drowned because I'm seeing it all around me. And well, I understand people can't see it. If the structures are shut down, the hippocampus, the prefrontal cortex, the pineal gland, which is, I believe, part of our, well, in our DNA, fractal antennas that are hooked up to a different energy source. And they are trying to link you in to their energy source. That's the Golden Dome. That's this side. This is the first part of the experiment. Well, no, actually, Israel was the first part because they have it. Right? It's not for missile defense. Remember, they're all working together. If there's missiles coming through, they're meant to come through to kill you because it's a depopulation agenda. They want to take it down to about 1 billion people. And we don't really know how many people are left alive. We really don't know statistically how many people died because of this intervention that, again, attacks the brain. It goes over the blood-brain barrier. The most important thing that you have, your mente, your brain. So what do we do about this? It seems overwhelming, doesn't it? Well, this is my angle on it, that we don't get into the fear mode that they want us to go into. They do. And the humiliation and the whatever, right? They want to play with our emotions and they want to play with our perceptions so that we will continue projecting out there onto the world and creating their dystopian fucking hell. So it's about creating your own little paradise within yourself because it's you that has to get strong. We have to get strong to be able to go through what is going to happen. The train is going so fast now, it cannot be taken off the tracks, right? We have to somehow live through the crash because the crash is coming. These old ways, these old institutions cannot survive, but it could happen tomorrow, it could happen 1,000 years from now. I don't know when, but I know that I'm only going to take the knee. To be able to eat, yeah, I might have to go digital. And pretty much I do digital, right? We're kind of already there. I do digital banking. So I got my foot in this AI fucking swamp, right? You have to be able to, but I'm not letting them put anything in my body. I will not do that. That I will not. That's the right? And if I starve to death and die, well, as Max Egan says, and I believe him because I've been saying it for years, we all come here to die. None of us get out alive. So I'd rather do it as a proud human being. Like, I may be older, but I'm a fucking lion. I'm a lion and I've been a lion my whole fucking life. I never wanted to be the kitten that was drowned in the fucking, the water. I didn't want to be that. And I don't like seeing other people being drowned either because the vast majority of human beings have great hearts. That's how they got you, to put this into you, right? Is the naivete and the good heart, never thinking that something could be this evil. It's us that have seen things from a young age, right? That have had abuse and stuff like that. We could see it. We could see it as plain as fucking day. Not that we're not good people, it's that we have seen the worst in people and that we're hypervigilant. This wonderful suit that we wear, this autonomic nervous system that we have, is constantly scanning the environment for threat. And that is why the vast majority of them saw what was happening, and have saw for years are typically people that have seen the darkness, right? I've seen multiple darkness. I shouldn't by all rights be here and be alive, but I am, thank God. Right? Because each day I'll just keep putting love and good vibes out there, right? And living my own life and not apologizing for who I am, right? And just being me and being the best and working out and being strong and cutting out as much as I can the poisons that are in this world because they're not taking my brain, right? And understanding exactly to my ability to understand what exactly they're doing and doing these videos. Maybe nobody watches them. Maybe nobody cares. Maybe because I'm an older person, it has no validity. But I've seen a lot of things in my life, right? And I see what's happening around me. So really, I just don't want you to be kittens drowned in a bucket, right? Be strong, be a lioness, be a lion, be strong, be courageous. Do different things, especially as you age. You need to do different things, different patterns, because if you stay like that, my standard driving, that pattern, you'll just keep going that road that is, right? You need to do different things to challenge your brain to do different things, because if not, you're staying in automatic pilot, and that's another area of easy programming. But as I said, they're after the structures of your brain, right? They're hollowing it out so that they can download what they want with this golden dome into you, AI controlled, the machine. That whole album, Wish You Were Here by Pink, was about that. Welcome to the machine. Yep. And we're in the bowels of the beast of the machine. I'm just finishing, well, I'm in the middle of reading The Roadmap by David Icke. I like David Icke. Yeah, I've heard, he's a control, maybe he is. I don't know what he is. I like his books. And I believe a lot in what he says about where we find ourselves. That we are the infinite. We are God's children. We have way more power than we think we do. So don't be kittens drowned in a bucket. Understand what's going on. Pull yourself out of it. Have a good day. Be the best that you can be. We all can. Doesn't matter what age we are, right?